No requests. Just a reminder, Monday is your last day. So no bill introductions. All right. We'll see you later, Nick. All right. He's got things to do. Committee, we're going to go ahead, and today is our day that we're going to provide or offer recommendations to the Appropriation Committee from the K-12 Education Budget Committee. So each of those recommendations we can vote on, and then we will pass those out ultimately as a package recommendation for each of the schools, for the blind and for the schools for the deaf. Today, we'll go ahead and start with the Kansas State School for the Deaf, and I'd like to first, before we offer recommendations, I'd like to invite Luann Barron up. I've asked her to teach us a few things for a few minutes. Come on up, and welcome back.
Thank you. This should be a fun time. I enjoy teaching ASL. So I have a list of a few very common phrases that are typically used on a daily basis, or at least quite frequently. So we're going to begin with hi or hello. So just like this. Pretty simple, right? Pretty universal. Hello. Next we have good morning, good, and morning. The reason for this sign is we're thinking about as the sun rises above the horizon. So you're bringing your hand up for morning, we get to noon. This is noon. Then we have the sun proceeding through the sky for the afternoon to the evening, night. The sun has fallen below the horizon. We have all night, and then we get down to midnight. So it just follows the course of the sun in the day. So again, good morning. Good afternoon. Nice to meet you is like this. Nice to meet you. And you can add the you at the end. Nice to meet you. You're cool. So you're cool. You're cool. You all are cool. Happy birthday. So happy birthday. Happy, and then use your middle finger, touch your chin to your chest. Birthday. So you use your middle finger, happy, and then birthday, just like that. The last one, I'm going to ask the interpreter to please not interpret what I say. Can anybody guess? More money. You got it. That's it. I signed give me more money. Thank you very much, committee.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I think I'm definitely going to have to practice it, and maybe for fun, if anybody remembers all these, we can do them every once in a while. Okay. All right. So I will go ahead and open up for any recommendations the committee has. If you have your budget, you can open up your budget for the School for the Deaf. We're working off the governor's recommendations. And so if you're making a recommendation, you would be making it either off of the governor's rec is what you'll be doing. Are there any recommendations? Representative Getz.
I recommend we pass out the governor's budget as proposed, but I recommend the cybersecurity FTE be deleted from our budget and be reviewed by the Appropriations Committee at Omnibus in light of a more statewide solution that is in the works for cybersecurity being considered by the Committee of Modernization. By Omnibus, we'll have a better idea if the more holistic solution will work. And we can always add that back in if it doesn't.
Okay, so just for clarity, you're moving it to the omnibus, not moving it forever. You're moving it to omnibus, and if there is a holistic approach, which the Modernization Committee is doing, then it would cover that position. If there isn't a holistic approach, then we would recommend it out favorably in omnibus, and it would be included. Is that your recommendation?
Yes, it is, Madam Chair.
Okay, so just for clarity, it's moving it with the intent that there is a solution. If there is not a solution, we recommend the funding of it. Is there a second? A second from Representative Adam Thomas, sorry. All right, further discussion on this item. And Representative Owsley is correct. We talk about IT quite regularly. So any additional comments will definitely be thoroughly vetted in committee. So we want them to be safe with all of their cybersecurity needs. If there are no further comments or questions, no further changes, then you may close on your proposed motion for recommendation.
I close and move that recommendation.
All right. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. All right. The motion has passed out favorably, and we do have a recommendation. And so, Luann, stay in touch with us as we move this through the process. Your committee will have a review. I'll be presenting it on Wednesday, I believe. Is that right, Amanda? Okay, I think it's Wednesday, but we'll double check. And it'll be in the preparations. It'll be sometime after 9 o'clock in the morning, in between 11 o'clock in the morning. And so we'll have that discussion there and let them have an opportunity to look at your budget. All right, we're going to move on to our second item, which is the budget for the Kansas School for the Blind. Of course, we've got John Harding here. And are there any recommendations? Okay, Representative Hill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Kind of along the same thing that we just did with the school for the deaf, that IT position, I think we need to have the Modernization Committee look at that and put it into omnibus for a more global solution on that. I have two recommendations, so that's the first one. Do you want me to go ahead with the second one?
You can go ahead and do both recommendations.
Okay, then they have that consultant in there, the 50/50 consultant, and I think there again that needs to be reviewed by appropriations and just see where they're at on it. And so I would recommend that at this point in time we just ask them to look at it.
Okay, so it would stay in the budget, would not be removed from the budget. It would just be reviewed. Yep. So the first one would be identical to the School of the Deaf, and it would, okay, just to see if there is a global solution, move it into the omnibus. If there's not a global solution, we're recommending that it be funded. And the second one, we're recommending it be funded, but reviewed, and then the Appropriations Committee can just weigh in on it. It's really not any different than if we fully funded it or removed it, they still get to weigh in on it. Is there a second for that motion? Representative Thomas? Madam Thomas? Okay, and it looks like now we're on to discussion. It is February 7th is report out. So I believe that's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Any other items for this? I don't think you technically need to close on your motion, but I'll let you close and then just move your motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the recommendation.
All right. The motion has been made and seconded and moved and closed. So all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Now, just in case we missed anything, was there any other item related to these two budgets? No other, yes, Representative Estes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion to request more information and review at Omnibus the transfer of the 1.5 million from KDHE for the Family Infant Toddler Program at KSSB.
Okay, that is one we definitely originally asked for, and then just today we got more information on it. And so I think we have the information now that we can share with appropriations. So I don't think we'll have to ask for more information. It just came today. Amanda just provided it today, and I think I emailed that to you.
Could we get an update, please? Is that in order?
Yes, you can provide that update. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. For the committee, you've received a flurry of emails from me. Following up on several items, the one that the Representative Estes is mentioning is in the budget analysis for blind. If you're looking on page, I believe it's page 6, it's the table that has the fiscal 2024 analysis on there. And on that page, item 4 is what we're referencing. So last session, the agency came before this committee and requested 1.5 million SGF for fiscal year 2024 to pay for this exact program. That item was not included in the GovRec last year. During committee last year, I was brand new, and JG spoke up and clarified during committee that the item was included in the GovRec for KDHE. Thinking about the order of events here, this decision likely occurred after agencies had submitted budgets and then sat down with Division of Budget and Governor's Office to finalize the GovRec, which would have happened kind of after all of this. And so that item was then put into the KDHE budget. I'm told that this item was included in the GovRec to avoid duplication of services. KDHE continues to coordinate statewide services for this age group. By funding through KDHE, KDHE then has an MOU in place with State School for the Blind to do this work. And yes, so it's effectively a transfer. It's included in our budget analysis in all funds because it is not an SGF expenditure for the School for the Blind.
I have a question, Amanda. With her request or motion to include that in our report, could we put a condensed version of that in the report and explanation of those 6 FTEs and the transfer of the money? Representative Estes, with that?
Sorry, Madam Chair. Yes, I think that would be very helpful. I'm glad to see the new information, and so I will agree to that, and then I have another question.
Okay, do we have a second on that motion to include that language as an explainer? It doesn't change the budget, it's just an explainer. We have a second from Representative Getz. Any discussion on that? It's good to have that update because after all of these years and all of this time, some of that gets lost from one session to the other. So that does help clarify. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll add that brief and explainer. And your question, Representative Estes?
Do we know what the difference is in the funding between 6 versus 7 positions?
The funding is for 7 positions. There are 7 individuals, one in Lindsborg, La Crosse, Arc City, McLouth, Franklin, and then 2 in Kansas City. There are 7. In the BA, where you see the red -1 position, that is something different. That -1 position is because last session, when this body approved the school hiring the 2 school security officers, included in that was 2 FTE. Since that time, the school has contracted one of those positions for a night shift, so that's the removal of 1 FTE because it is a contracted position. So for the Family Infant Toddler Program, it is 7 positions, but it is a net add of 6 positions.
Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. I'm going to look at something real quick while we're doing that. Okay. Yep, that looks right, Amanda. I was just trying to understand it. Okay, any other comments or questions about our recommendations? All right, that concludes our recommendations. I do not believe we need anything else more formal. We're not passing a budget, we're just making recommendations. So committee, good work today, and we are adjourned, and we'll see you on Monday. Please note that the agenda has been updated to include actual bill numbers where appropriate. So have a good evening. Yes, Representative Estes?
Did we take a vote on it after we made recommend?
We took a vote on your individual recommendation, we added it to it. Because they're just recommendations, they're not like a pass out a bill or anything like that. So I think we covered it. Does it look like we covered it? Or would you like a more formal final? Nick's not here. Yeah.
I just want to be clear, what you have passed out includes all of the enhancement requests for 2025 for School for the Blind as edited by the governor. So it is the GovRec. Yes. Okay.
It is the governor recommendation.
Cybersecurity stuff.
Right. Both of them are the governor's recommendation with the one update with the addition of an explainer. And then that is it.